Hi everyone, I'm back again with another video. It's another celebrity channel video. So this evening I'm joined by, he's an actor and model. He was when he was here, he was actor and model. And I just discovered this person only a few months ago. I'd not really sort of heard of him, or maybe I'd known him in the past but kind of forgotten. So, and that is Jon-Erik Hexum. So yeah, as I say, he was an actor and he was a model, and he was born in 1957. So he was very big. He was like billed as the next big thing and was really doing well in his career in the 80s until unfortunately he passed in 1984. There was an incident on the set where I'll say it was reported as a shotgun went off, and which tragically took John's life. But as to what happened in that situation, that I'm not sure, so I'm not going to even begin to speculate on any of that. But I did see an interview with John, and he was just, what caught my attention was it was not his obvious good looks. I'm sure a lot of people were drawn to. He is actually very visually stunned, of course, for anyone who's known who he was, or if you just see the thumbnail, you'll see that for yourselves. But for me, it was just, in the interview, he just seemed like a very unique person. He just didn't seem to have a large ego. He seemed very mature for his years. So he'd been in his 20s, he seemed very mature for his years. His outlook on the way he's seen things, because he spoke about an act where he, stopped somebody from driving who was drunk to stop them from crashing into anybody else. I've seen that story in an interview. It was just the way he spoke about it. He seemed like a really nice soul, and yeah, just his perspective on things. He just didn't really feel the need to go out and buy really lots of expensive things. And the guy I was interviewing at the time was saying, well, you've got to have this, and why wouldn't you have that? And because he just liked the simple things in life, it was kind of being questioned about it, that shouldn't be. And when he was just saying, I don't need all those things, and he was putting his money where he felt like it needed to go, just because it was not the norm of how people would usually spend the money. It was looked upon as strange. So I was just really interested in what he had to say. So yeah, what I usually do is I just usually get a list of people that I'm supposed to channel that usually come to me. It's very rare that I actually sort of ask somebody to come in, but on this occasion I did do that. I just thought I'd reach out and just to see if John was interested in coming and speaking to us, because, as I say, because of his outlook, the way he sort of looked at things, his perspective on life when he was here on the airplane just really interested me, and I just thought he'd have some really interesting things to share with us on that. So that's why he's here tonight. He has kindly come. He was supposed to do a video at some point, but just tonight I just thought that, I think I'm feeling to do another video tonight, and he's very kindly came in straight away. So yeah, we're going to let John take the floor now, and we're going to see what he's got to say. He's got some things he's very interested to share with us. He's very kindly said that, yeah, I'm happy to share things. He's very polite. He's looking very smart. For anybody who did know, and judging by the comments on videos that go by of his, he did have a lot of fans, probably still has got a lot of fans, seems to be well loved. I know he had a look where he had shaved hair, but tonight he has got hair. He's sort of got hair on the longer side, not as crop short as he has in some takes, and he's got a beige suit on, so he's looking very smart. Yeah, very handsome, very smart, and he doesn't look mature, but he just has an energy of being more mature than his years. So yeah, we're going to hear what it is that he's got to say and what it is that he's got to discuss. I have no idea. He's touched on maybe a couple of subjects, but actually I can't even remember what he said. So we're just going to hear what he's got to say, what he's got to share with us. Things that we could do for us, or maybe just a little bit about his life. So What is it you want to start with, John? Oh, okay, so he's so polite. He's saying, first of all, he'd like to say thank you for being given the opportunity to talk to everyone tonight. So he's saying thank you very much for that. No, thank you very much for coming, especially to short notice. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. Thank you. So he's saying, sorry, I'll just relay it as you're saying it. So if you can let me know if you can feed it through to me quickly, so I can say it, or I will listen and then relay it, whichever way you can do it. So first of all, again, he just wants to acknowledge and say thank you to those people who supported him in his career, for those who watched the shows and watched the shows and was privy to the work that he did. To the fans, those people who greeted him, got his autograph. So he wants to say thank you to the people who mentored him, and studied him. So is that somebody who so people who taught him, so people who helped him with his craft, taught him how to express himself, show emotions, things like that, acting wise. So we had a team of people around him that supported him. So he just wants to give thanks for that. He wants to give thanks to his family who supported him as well around his career and allowed him to follow his dreams, he's saying. So he's saying enough of that now. He's getting that out of the way. So what is it that you want to start off with? You can talk a little bit about you. You can talk a little bit about things for us, what you can see for us, any advice for us, what we can do. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about his life, he said, if that's okay. Yeah, of course, yeah. Whatever it is that you want to share with us. Okay, so he's going to talk a little bit about his, just as what, his perspective on things when he was on the airplane, which is what, I just wanted to just know a little bit more about him because I don't really know much about him. So he's just going to give a little bit of insight to us about how he's seen things when he was here and as to why. So, okay, so first of all, he's saying he was raised by his parents who taught him well. They taught him to have a positive outlook on life, to reach for the stars. Okay, so he's saying to reach for his goals and to realize his dreams. He instinctively knew that early on, he's saying. And he knew what he wanted to do. He knew he wanted to go into movies, but it wasn't something he wanted to continue to do throughout his life. He was intending to change course at some point, which is why he was so thrifty, he's saying. So he didn't feel the need to splash out on all expensive things just to impress others. He wanted to lead a normal life as possible, as in, he didn't want to be extravagant. He didn't want to just put on a show just to impress others. He wanted to keep his feet on the ground. He wanted to lead as normal life as possible, even though the job that he did was not considered normal. In the eyes of many, he wasn't considered, a normal person once his career started to soar. Once his name got out there, his face was more recognised. The recognition, it was nice, it was good. It wasn't the be all and end all. It was nice at times. It was impossible sometimes once the shows hit the air to oh, you didn't? Okay. Let me just get straight what he's saying. So he didn't find it impossible to remain humble. He didn't find it impossible to remain humble. Despite the business that he was in and some of the people that surrounded him, he still managed to maintain a sense of normality, because that's what he wanted to create for himself. So even though he had what looked like an extravagant lifestyle, behind the scenes he didn't feel the need to have all those things or have as much as what people expected him to. So what is it you were going to do career-wise? What was it you were planning on doing later on? Okay, so I think he's saying he was having plans to maybe open up his own stage or theatre school. Is that right? It's like a theatre stage school, something like that. Okay, is that right? Or he's kind of like shrugging, depends. So I'm not sure if you're not sure. Oh, okay, so he's saying something along those lines. He wasn't quite sure. He hadn't quite realised at that point what it was, but somewhere like that anyway. Something that would at least benefit others, teach others, and help them realise their dreams too. But yeah, he wasn't sort of like. There was something there where I don't think he'd quite made a firm decision exactly what that be, but I think he had an idea of the kind of thing that he wanted to do. That, like, when we think we want to help others, but we don't know in quite exactly what capacity we want to do it in. And of course, he was only really young, so I don't think he had everything figured and planned out at that point, because he was in the midst of doing the shows. That took up a lot of time, that took up a lot of rehearsals and long working hours. Thank you. Yeah, he's given me the information quite well, so I'm not having to keep listening to him. So thank you for that, John. So yeah, he enjoyed a lot of the work that he did. He at times he felt the modelling side of it was a little bit shallow, but he's saying it paid the bills. So he's just kind of laughing. He's laughing because he's just kind of showing me some pictures of him doing that, the modelling. Kind of like flexing his muscles kind of thing, so let me just see what. Okay, so he's kind of like laughing, sort of like he's cringing now. Hey, no, they're beautiful pictures. You know, there's nothing to be ashamed of. You'd be proud of them. I've seen, you know, they're still all over the internet and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of pictures of you around, so they seem, you know, still very popular to this day. So be proud, be proud. You've still got a lot of people who really adore you and love you and remember you, and you know, big fans. So that's, you know, that's amazing, brilliant achievement all these years later as well. So he's very grateful. He's very grateful for that. He's saying. So he's sitting in the chair with that suit on, although he doesn't look actually the comfiest. Relax. Are you comfortable or? So yeah, he's just kind of pulling out his suit and shifting in his chair. You can change if you want. It's, you know, just quick for you to do. You don't have to do anything. Okay. So because. Okay. See, you know, these souls, they can just, you know, they can change into whatever, you know, type of way that they want to and stuff like that. But he's taking his jacket off, so. So yeah, so we're just gonna let him do that, and then I think we're gonna move on to another topic now, are we? Or do you want to tell us a little bit about that incident that you relayed in the interview about the guy? If you can just tell it to me, and I can relay what happened. Okay, so yeah, so he was out. It was nighttime, and he seen a guy that was driving erratically on the road. So okay, yeah, so he stopped him from getting in his car basically, and oh yeah, okay, so that was it. So yeah, he actually found the guy to be nice and to hang out with for a little bit, and he had quite a lot of fun. He thought he was, you know, he was quite nice and enjoying his company. But then the guy was going to get back in, you know, get in his car and stuff, and he left him. And he said, well, no, you can't do that, because he was concerned that he would injure somebody else. So he had to end up turning the guy in, and you know, he felt quite bad for that, but you know, he was trying to do the right thing. So yeah, so what about that? Yes, we did. He said he felt quite bad because because they'd got on and they had some bonding time. And he actually quite, you know, liked him. He wasn't bad or anything, but he's saying he just feels like the guy. He feels like the guy needed someone to talk to. He needed someone to bond with, and he wasn't, you know, a bad guy. He was just a little bit. Yeah, oh yeah, that's it. So yeah, so he was a little bit misguided, but he, yeah, he's just saying he wasn't, you know, at least he didn't seem to him to be like a bad soul or anything. Yeah, so he's saying he was caught between a rock and a hard place because he didn't know what to do. But But he did what he thought would be the best outcome, you know, for everybody, because because he's saying that could, you know, he felt bad for having to turn the guy in, but he could live with the guilt with that, but he wouldn't have been able to live with the guilt had the guy, you know, knocked somebody down or killed him, or, you know, killed himself kind of thing. So he did the right thing. But yeah, I just thought that was a great story when I seen it. And I was like, oh, you know, it just seems so really nice. And you seem, you know, considering you're so young, just, you know, quite mature. But it was the way he relayed the story. It was the way he relayed the story, because it was just like, it was such a nice act that he did, but he just was kind of like a little bit like, yeah, I don't know, it was just your attitude of like, you know, well, it was nothing. It wasn't like you were like bragging that, you know, you did this great thing. You just, I don't know, it just comes across like really, really nice, and yeah, just like kind of sensible but compassionate, really nice person. So yeah. So is there anything else that you want to share with us tonight? Okay, so yeah, I had a little feeling he was going to start talking to us about like how things are today with us, and obviously, you know, John, who, you know, lived, you know, in a different time. You know, I think he's going to make some comparisons of like how things are for us compared to back then. So let's just see what he has to share with us. It's got something to do with the phones, I think. Yes, we're saying so again. All we had back then was, you know, obviously showing me like the old fashioned rotary phones. Was back then we had no mobiles. So you're saying, you know, there was no social media. Back then, you know, saying I didn't get to experience, you know, any of that. He's saying he would have liked. He's saying he would have liked to. It seems fun, but of course, you know, it has its downsides. He's saying. But in a way, yeah, in a sense, he's saying, but you know, he's thankful that we didn't have that back then. Because okay, so he's saying thankful that he didn't have that back then, because yeah, just say like, you know, when you meet someone and you know, you go back with them, or you're dating, and it wasn't really splashed all over, you know, social media. So then he's giving me the feeling like, you know, he was able to like, you know, whatever they did in you know, back then, that they were able to do without it being splashed all over social media, or it wasn't as much, because yeah, there was invasion of privacy anyway, but in this day and age it's taken to like, you know, way another level. So he's saying he's kind of thankful that, you know, it wasn't like that then when he was, you know, at the height of his fame, because he's saying, because now it's just like, it's, you know, it's mind-blowing how different it is, and how the intrusion that people have to put up with, and you know, what goes on today with people just things coming out about them. There's just no control. There's just no control over, you know, things that are written in the papers. You get your private life just, you know, up for anybody to just debate over, and all those kinds of things that, you know, happen today. So yeah, he's saying, you know, it's completely different now than it was back then, although it wasn't without its issues back then. There was still people meddling in his business, he's saying, But he's saying, but it was short-lived, so. Okay, because he's saying the parts he had to take, or the parts that he did take. But he was able to have some time out to himself. Although he worked a lot, he worked long hours. So he's just having a little think about that now. To be saying, but anyway, back to you. So I think he's going to share some things like for us. Okay, so yeah, he's talking about like connections, connection wise. If you want to connect with people, access is like more larger than ever now. So yeah, we all have different platforms and, you know, to connect in different ways. But I think like everybody else, or, you know, a few of the other people that I've had on my channel, he's saying that but what we need yet is more closeness and kindness, compassion for people, and empathy. People need to gather together and unite, he's saying, a little bit more, support each other a little bit more. So yeah, he's talking about like back then, you know, you would go to your neighbour's house and, you know, borrow some milk, borrow some sugar, and you would share things, you could bring things around, you know, you'd bring a cake, or yeah, just things like that. People more readily shared, he's saying, back then, whereas now a lot more people. And he says, and he understands that, you know, there's trust issues, or a lot more goes on now, the way you can't trust people as much as you could in the past. But he's saying that, you know, when you have people that you can trust, or fairly trust them, who live in close quarters to you, then, you know, it's still nice to be able to show some kindness, to interact, and to, you know, at least acknowledge them, he's saying. And make them your friends, or be open to the possibility of making new connections and new friends to those that are around and live close by. But he's saying, but often not a lot of that goes on. Quite often there's the reluctancy to just, you know, connect with people in that way. So it would be nice if that changed, he's saying. It would be nice if people just get a little bit more open with each other. So is that right, what you want us to relay? Okay, anything else you got to share? She's got a really nice calm presence as well, I find. So yeah, if I'm talking like I'm, you know, falling asleep, that's just that, no, I'm feeling he's quite calm and relaxed. Yeah, a really nice presence, a little bit of a presence